Baja California, 1959. A paradise that's home to surf, sun, cervezas, and of course, the undisputed home of the fish taco. From the 1950s until today, you can find small vendors in Ensenada, San Felipe, and beyond, blessing us with their take on the ever-popular fish taco. It's crispy and creamy, it's salty and spicy, and most of all, it's savory, and it's sure to satisfy your taste buds. That battered and deep-fried fish mixed with the perfect symphony of spicy mayo, topped with shredded cabbage, salsa, and of course, a squeeze of fresh lime, are a few bites of heaven on earth. And although the dispute carries on as to which of these two cities claim they are the origin of the fish taco, we are thankful to both for the introduction of an item that would change our Taco Tuesdays and our taste buds forever. Downtown Los Angeles, 2020. 200 miles north of Ensenada and a whole world of, well, different. It's fast-paced, it's vibrant, it's loud, but chaotically beautiful in its own way. Nestled in between all of this in Bunker Hill is a Mexican-style restaurant and bar serving the freshest sea-to-land dishes in a one-of-a-kind indoor-outdoor lush oasis known as Pescantina. Their ocean meets land concept brings us dishes from the many distinct regions of Mexico. With award-winning, professionally trained and world-renowned chef Bret Thompson, whose training and experience covers much of the globe, including Hawaii, Europe, Baja, and beyond, and his wife Lucy, who brings her spirit, soul, and Mexican culinary background, this fusion of cultures brought us a fresh new perspective and take on Mexican cuisine and seafood that is Pescantina, and which is sure to change your views on how it should be done.
Join us today as DTLA Insider takes you inside Pescantina. First off, thank you guys for having us over here today. It's
our pleasure. Yeah.
You know, it's always a pleasure to be over here at Pescantina, and we need to let the world know a little bit more about you guys. So
thanks, man.
Thank you for the opportunity, and let's go a little bit into Pez. What is Pescantina about? How did it come to be?
So Pescantina is a modern coastal Mexican restaurant, influenced from our trips down to Laredo in Baja California. My uncle and cousin have a house down there, and we go fishing and diving and just kind of really enjoying the fine things in life, hanging out down there. And literally came back from one of our trips with a bunch of mahi-mahi we caught and making fish tacos. And we said, you know, we've got to open a fish taco ceviche joint, right? That's what we thought at first, something simple and small. Ended up turning into a 160-seat restaurant here in Bunker Hill. Everything's influenced off of Baja kind of California cuisine, mixed with my background of European cuisine as well, and it's a great mix.
Your background of European cuisine. Give me a little bit of background about that.
So I spent, you know, a good part of 2 years staging around Europe, in between my tenure with Patina, the Patina group, working in Spain and France, and kind of just hopping around Europe, you know, learning.
So you're well-rounded.
So yeah, but you know, the food is very authentic Mexican food, with maybe techniques or presentations that one might not expect of a Mexican restaurant.
Right.
And I think that's where we have fun and where we might have our edge.
Right, because I wouldn't say you guys, I mean, are you a Mexican restaurant? It's kind of a bit of a, not a fusion either, but it's a combination of a lot of different things going on over here.
Well, I think also marrying into our family, I'm Mexican, and I joke around that when we first started dating, Bret would spend more time in the kitchen with my mom than he did with me because he was just so, he didn't realize that Mexican food had so many different layers.
Sure.
I think maybe we just take it for granted that we have Americanized Mexican food, but I feel like, especially now, there's so much more recognition for really the culinary aspect of Mexican food. So,
and I gotta say, like, also growing up in kitchens in Los Angeles,
right.
I mean, really that was where the base of my Mexican food knowledge came from. I had a sous chef from Oaxaca for 4 years with me, who taught me all about Oaxacan food and just the different family meals we'd have, you know, that the guys would make, and just, you know, getting more familiar with like the different chiles and the different techniques and the stews. So I think the majority of the, you know, my knowledge of Mexican food probably comes from that, you know.
So let's talk about these tacos for a minute, because they are the best tacos in all of Los Angeles, and we said it.
What
and
is
it's
this?
the truth.
Hold on, what is this?
Sorry, dude,
right there.
I gotta brag a little bit. I gotta brag right here, dude.
So he wears his belt every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just the belt and my chef pants, dude. That's it.
Calling the health department.
Tortillas made of squid ink and fresh masa. Squid ink's fun because it's very potent in color, not in flavor. It doesn't have like a lot of flavor to it, but it really makes them black, which is nice. And then we call them camarones a la diabla, shrimp
like
diablo.
Okay.
They're basically red Argentine shrimp, which is cool because they're very like sweet and succulent and a lot more tender than regular shrimp. We cook them in like a salsa diabla, kind of spicy, and then the salt. We have a charred scallion slaw, and then a dried chili salsa on top. Yes,
Good
lime
call.
juice is
Hit
great.
me.
There
Lime
you
is
go.
awesome.
It's like a flavor bomb in your mouth happening because there's so much texture and flavor, and it's spicy and it's creamy and smoky and acidic. It's everything is on point with the taco.
Even the quality of the shrimp,
More tacos?
though. It has that seasoned shrimp taste,
Yes.
but not excessive
Yeah.
and not to the point where you're like, this
Yes.
is not
That's
right.
a red Argentine shrimp. I love red Argentine shrimp. They're so great. It's almost like a sweet shrimp or like a lobster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it tastes like a langoustine
So
almost.
Yeah.
like
Wow,
langoustine,
it
exactly.
does. You're right.
Wow, and it's perfectly cooked. So you
Yeah.
usually get shrimp tacos and they're little shrimp or they're not cooked. This is perfect.
Thanks, I appreciate
This
that.
is
Well,
next level, definitely.
Yeah, and that's like an example of like why we're different, I think, because when you're cooking these shrimp, it's like butter and then garlic and then the shrimp and then you're layering the sauce on top. So it's not just like cooking the shrimp in oil, whatever. You know, it's like really layered.
Absolutely amazing tacos. That's a well-deserved belt. I would wear that every day.
Yes.
We worked hard for it. We worked hard for it. Yeah.
That is a taco. From somebody who loves tacos and is a taco fanatic,
Nice.
these are top 2, top 3 tacos. I mean that.
Thanks,
you know,
man.
and I know I
Appreciate that.
probably shouldn't say that on the show, but they are.
This here is it's a salad I've been making for a version of it for many, many years. It always has arugula, manchego cheese, pistachios, and dates.
Wow.
Seasonally now it has pomegranate seeds and apples.
Okay.
To kind of give it a Mexican twist, I put hibiscus vinaigrette, which is sort of a combination of a balsamic and hibiscus.
Wow. Not sure I ever saw
Oh, also wheat berries as well. Sorry, I forgot
wheat
those.
berries.
Wheat berries. Give it a
What,
little pop.
I mean,
you know?
what is the influence behind that? It's not. What kind of salad
You
do
know-
you call this?
Well, we cook like we like to eat.
Okay.
Vibrant, bright, healthy, simple. I know it doesn't seem very
Delicious.
simple, but delicious. Yeah.
Delicious. Let's not leave that out.
Yeah.
So, how long have you guys been here, Bunker Hill area, right here?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years
Coming
this
this December, yeah.
This December. 5
This
years.
year, this year will complete 5 years.
5
Unbelievably.
years. You know, I think it's funny, and it's not just you guys. I was telling them too. A lot of the restaurants that we've been shooting, people in downtown don't know these places exist, and they're a block or two away. And these are people that have lived in downtown. I feel like unless you have a spire sticking out of the roof or some kind of shiny object, people don't know about it. But I feel like if more people know about you guys, this is just out of control. This food is out of this world. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I didn't
thanks.
know you guys were up here when I first moved. It took me about a year, but once I did, it's like, why doesn't everybody know about you guys?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's one part of this show that we're trying to, you know, give people that exposure. But I know you guys are off the beaten path a little over here in the financial district, but I would walk miles and miles just to have this. This is not one type of food. This is not one thing, but the influences are, I would say, Mexican Mediterranean, which makes no sense.
Totally.
Which
It actually makes a lot of sense to me.
Makes
Yeah, yeah.
What is that, Mediterranean or whatever it may be?
Mediterranean.
If you want Mexican and you want elevated Mexican cuisine with a different twist, it's elevated, go to Pez.
But the most important thing I think is keeping this authentic Mexican. I want like the Mexican grandmas to come in here and say like, oh, mijo, tiene la misma sabor de mi mamá. Like, I want it to be like that.
Why did you choose downtown to launch Pez? I mean, what was
Yeah.
it about downtown that appealed to you? Especially 5 years ago, it
Right.
still wasn't the point where a lot of people were thinking
Yeah.
downtown.
Right.
And why this part of downtown too?
Yeah, well, we're both Angelinos, and I mean, as long as I can remember, downtown has been a part of our daily life. I mean, I
Yeah.
worked in the garment industry for 20-something years.
She's like when I was 5 years old.
Yeah, I was five.
Different times back then. Yeah. Changed.
Child labor.
Yeah, no.
Well, my story is different than Lucy. So she grew up in like the east side of LA. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley in Chatsworth, out in the I call it the armpit of the San Fernando Valley. And so we didn't really come down here very much. But it's funny because we would come down here for like the music center, the Dodger game, and I always remember seeing that tower right there, that cool like radio tower. And as a kid, I was like, what? It looked like a spaceship. I was like, that's the coolest looking building ever. And the fact that we actually own a restaurant across from there now, it's just very kind of
It's surreal in a sense.
so weird.
It's
Yeah,
surreal,
it's
especially
very-
growing up
I
in
never
the
told you
city
before,
and
but
in
it's
the
very-
armpit of the city too.
Yeah.
But it's very cool seeing that because, I mean, even for Angelinos, people that were born here, downtown, it wasn't an area you came in. I mean, 10 years ago, it was like the sun's going down, get out of here.
Right.
But now to see how far the city has come, seeing restaurants and people like you coming into over here, it's a warm, fuzzy feeling inside that our city is finally getting there. explain this. What do I have in front of me right now?
This lovely-
What is this?
Cauldron of deliciousness.
Yes.
So this is a molcajete, which
Okay.
translates into mortar and pestle. You know, we do different versions. This one here is, it's got New York steak on the rim. These great shrimp on the, we toss the chili pollo oil, grill them up. Cactus nopales.
Okay.
Some scallions, some menonita cheese on top. And then inside in the broth is kind of like a chorizo carnitas broth with lime and potatoes and like fingerling potatoes and tomatoes.
Good
Yeah, and it comes of course with fresh tortillas.
We are all gonna dig into this beautiful thing. I just want to say before we get this thing, turn this from a piece of art into nothingness, thank you guys so much for having us. We appreciate the opportunity to have you guys on the show. Thank you for the amazing food. Thank you for being part of downtown. And thank you guys for being you.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Chef Bret. Thank you so much. Let's eat, ladies. Continue.